Konnichiwa, Ohio, hello, good morning. This is how Japanese greet each other. Today I am going to discuss the education system of Japan and their cultural roots. As you know, the Japanese are known for their calm demeanor, their longevity, cultural ethos, integrity, and excellent performance in technology and science. Japan is the third largest economy of the world. Who can think of it? After 1945, Nagasaki and Hiroshima, they rose within 20 years and again become the superpower of the world in terms of technology and science. If you look at the geographical location of Japan, it is very volatile. Earthquake, volcanoes are very common, but still the strength of the people, the might of the people have taken that nation to a higher battle. It is probably the first Asian country which has dominated the West in terms of science, technology, and invention. In order to understand the Japanese education system, we need to go a little bit back in history. Almost 50 years of period, beginning from 1868 to 1912. Our ruler, they are known as Meiji Emperor, 122nd ruler of Japan, was the key person to take their country to a new horizon. It is known as Meiji Restoration period. The rule of emperor was prevalent. Emperor was on the top of the pyramid, followed by shogunate. It is a military establishment, a large base of highly dedicated military establishment which is only loyal to the king. And at the bottom of the pyramid were craftsmen and businessmen. The dedication for king was so much so that there are plenty of stories in Japanese culture when tsunami struck the school and the school building was on water. A poor teacher, in order to save the emperor's portrait, has given up his life. Such stories are told and narrated to the student. They later followed in their own life. The Meiji Restoration period has converted that country from an isolationist, feudal, agro-based economy to a world power in terms of technology and science and military might. All this has happened between 1868 to 1912. The Meiji ruler has learned very quickly that the Western education system is the best in terms of inculcating the scientific and technological values amongst the people. But at the same time, they put equal emphasis on their culture, their ethos, their tradition, and their value system. Lot of emphasis was given on hyper-nationalism. The Meiji king, the emperor, was the whole authority of the country. Everybody has his photograph very close to their heart. During Meiji rule, the strict army discipline, martial art, calligraphy, and the social values and indoctrination towards hyper-nationalism was fully in place. The students were taught how Japan has been colonized by the Western powers. During Meiji period, they fought two important wars and won, one with the Western powers and another with the Russian powers. Japanese army is known for sacrifice. Either they will win the battle or they will give up their life. All this training and education system and cultural ethos has created a hyper-nationalist country which was determined to take revenge from the West. How can we forget the Pearl Harbor attack, which ultimately led America to jump into World War II? Pearl Harbor is 4,000 miles away from Japan coast, almost 8 to 10 hours of journey. And the Japanese air base and army prepared themselves and they led this attack on America without even an iota of idea to American forces. The entire Hawaii base was smashed. Almost 3,000 American soldiers were dead. Although later it proved to be a very fatal incident for Japan, and that is how the Nagasaki and Hiroshima atomic bombing has taken place. Many people believe that Pearl Harbor is the beginning of atomic race. Japan himself appointed that they are the savior of the Asian continent. It appointed himself for Japan, Philippines, Cambodia, including India. Many of us know that the Andaman and Nicobar Island were the Japanese colonies, and it was one of the brutal colonies. John Nicholson, a stalwart Nicobari leader, has written in his diary about the brutality of the Japanese administration in Nicobar Island. However, the modern education system that we are witnessing now in Japan, it is post-war education system. After Second World War, American educationists from different countries has gathered in Japan, and they have devoted a lot of time and created a report on post-war education on Japan. And that system is being followed right now. Here it is pertinent to say that Japan was barred from having his own military after the Second World War. The post-World War education system has a lot of emphasis on democracy, liberalism, acceptance, and tone down the hyper-nationalistic part of the education. Japan education system has 6 plus 3 plus 4. 6 years of elementary education, 3 years of secondary education, and 4 years of university education. Up until 1886 and little bit later, the 6 years of education was compulsory and free. But later on, it was taken up to class 9th. 9 years of education were compulsory and free, even though after that students are taking part in education. 99.9% students are getting school education in Japan. Dropout rate is just 1%, below 1%. It is one of the lowest in the developed country. Even in America, the dropout percentage is around 3 to 4%. Please tell me, what is the dropout percentage in our country, in India? There is no examination in the early years of schooling, almost 4 years. They put manners before the knowledge. The initial years of education has been devoted to mannerism, good character, self-help work, all such kind of things are given to them. They say that manners before knowledge. They are taught to be gentle with nature and animal. They are also taught how to control their greed, value the justice system. All these things are taught in initial years. One important factor of the Japanese school system is the punctuality. Each and every child reaches school well in time. This punctuality has become a part of their culture. People say in Japanese company, the corporate offices are also following dot timing system. So there is no janitor in the school. Students are supposed to clean the vidyalaya, the school, themselves. The boys and girls work in a small group. They clean their classrooms, corridors, even toilets. And with this type of group work, they learn collaboration, they learn empathy, they learn support. And this is one of the very unique features of the Japanese system. I don't think anywhere in the world students are engaged in a daily manner for cleaning the school. The groups are formed in a weekly basis and the students are performing the entire task. The impact of this can be seen in their family, in their community, in their normal life system. Japan is a very neat and clean country. Self-defense training and martial art is one of the integral part of Japanese school system. They have many other hobby activities in which the martial art is one of the essential part of it. Then they have calligraphy. The Japanese calligraphy is also one of the important factors. Then poetry, haiku, we know these are very small poems and full with emotions and ideas and eternal wisdom. As I said that initial years are without examination. Most of the students are given experiential learning. They devote their time in doing and learning, interacting and learning, observation and learning. I would like to share one example of nameless painting. They teach color without naming them. They provide different colors and student used to mix those colors and create a new color. And this is a very famous activity in Japan and which gives lot of imagination, ideas to the student. However, the latter part of education, when they reach to the senior secondary level, that is 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th level, there the studies and examination and competitions are very tough. students used to read too much and lot of things they have to learn during that period. Because collegiate, to getting admission in college is a very difficult task. In Japan, the teacher of science and physics are the stars. One more important aspect of the Japanese education system is emphasis on mathematics. They devote almost 7 to 8 periods every week on mathematics, and these periods are long periods where a lot of drilling, discussion, activities are performed in order to acquire the complete knowledge of the concept. As I said, the higher secondary years are known as examination hell. The students are in very much pressure. They are really frustrated with their teaching and learning. Students read even in holidays, they go for coaching, all sorts of things are done. But once they got admission in their university degrees, these 4 years are called the dream years of Japanese youth. In college, they have a lot of freedom to learn, to explore, and to ideate. They can take the projects based on their own choice and do new things. This period is celebrated by Japanese youth and called a leisure before work. Before joining the workforce, they used to enjoy this time by learning and doing things. One thing we can learn from Japan, that too much hyper-nationalism can lead to disaster. People used to say, suppose the Second World War is won by the Axis power, that is Germany, Japan and Italy, what would have happened? They say that it is not Hitler who had ruled the world after Second World War. It was the Japanese, because Japan was determined to teach a lesson to the West. Once the war is over, and hypothetically suppose Hitler won the war, then Japan used to fight with Hitler and take control of that. These are the analysis they are given by the best of the analysts in the field of war strategy. So I think hyper-nationalism is bad, nationalism is good, and a nationalism which is based on humanistic values. Japan, due to its education and culture, has created many things. They value their time, they value their energy, and they are keen learners. Various concepts and ideas has come out from the Japanese education system. One is Ikigai. Ikigai means finding the purpose of your life, the reason for living, reason for exploring life. There is another, we call it Kaizen. Kaizen means small changes and continuous changes. Small and continuous changes bring transformation in life. There are many such concepts which has been very popular in Japan, and students across the education system follow these systems. These are very interesting. Please have a look at them. They are very much available on internet. This is all in brief about Japan education system. Tell me what we can learn from this system. Thank you.